Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jordan from the Pipe Academy. This demo I'm going to walk you through how to do a ground joint bowl, and this is going to use a 14mm male slide, and we'll show you how to get it going. So as you can see, I got a double-headed ground joint right there. I just gave it a little score and snapped it in half. Now what I'm going to do is take a little piece of carbon tape and slide it into my holder. And I'm going to take my ground joint there and go ahead and insert it in there and give it just a little twist. You don't want to lock that thing in there too much, or it'll be a real pain in the ass to get out. As the heat hits that clear joint, it's going to expand a little bit inside that holder. That's why you want that little piece of carbon tape in there. So I got about 8 inches of 25mm Chinese white there in my left hand. I'm going to go ahead and stripe about 3.5 inches with green slime. So I'm going to give it 8 stripes. That's what I'm working on right here. There we go. Jump ahead here in a bit. Alright, now I got the whole thing all striped up. I'm going to go ahead and punny to it and start melting in those lines, and then give it a little bit of a twist. Important thing to note when you're working with green slime and white tube in particular is that you want to get that slime melted in to the tube before you try to manipulate it at all. This will keep it from sort of folding on itself. Alright, so now I got the whole thing spun up. I'm going to go ahead and blow my hole out, prepare my surface to do my weld on. Key thing to realize is that you want to make sure that the hole that you're making is going to be real close to the size of the flare that you're going to put on your joint. That'll make that weld a lot easier to smooth out. So now I got my hole all blown out. I'm going to go ahead and use my reamer there to center it. And here comes the weld. So when I introduce that joint into the flame, I'm using a lot of the radiant heat before I get right into it to sort of warm up and take the chill off that ground joint. Now the joint is just tacked in there right now. That weld is far from being done. I'm going to go back and work on it once I get the punning on it. So I'll go ahead and pull the bowl off of the tube. I'm going to go ahead and shape most of the bowl in this next stage and get it pretty much ready to go. So here I am sort of shaping it down. Whatever shape you want to make is cool. Alright, so now we got the bowl all ready to go. It's mostly shaped. We need to just make sure that weld is all super dialed. So I'm going to go ahead and punny up to it. There we go. See me sort of using a couple of different angles as I work around that weld, and the majority of the heat coming out of the torch is aimed at the white and the slime. So that white and slime part of the piece right now is absorbing most of the heat, and then a lot of the radiant heat is sort of traveling down into the actual clear portion of the ground joint that sits right above the holder there. That'll kind of reduce it, bring it all together, make it nice and straight. Alright, now that the weld's all done, we go ahead and pull a little bit of material off the end here and punch our hole out. You want to pull a little bit of material. That'll help keep that hole from closing back up on you when you get ready to do your punch. Also make sure that that hole is even and round. That'll make sure that it's nice and even and round at the end. Alright, so here we are punching. You see me do a punch and then I rotate it like 15 degrees with my left hand and then punch it again. That's the way I keep it nice and centered. So I'm going to go back in there and melt out the bowl, take out any chill marks, get it all ready to go. Use my reamer here to make sure the hole is the right size and nice and centered. And that's pretty much the end of the operation. Last thing you want to do is just take your tweezers here, put them in the flame real quick, get the chill off of them, and then go ahead and free your joint from the holder. Now this thing's probably going to want to roll off your table, so be careful, be ready for it. So there you have it. Everything you ever wanted to know about ground joint bowls, tip to tail. Thanks for watching. Be sure to stop by pipeacademy.com for more tips, tricks, and tutorials. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.